The Biden administration decided way up high by a bunch of incompetent people that they wanted to mandate the vaccine. They pushed Facebook to silence dissent, and they pushed FDA to make it a full approval so that they could have the legal authority, or at least they thought, to do so. That is so dangerous. They happen to be wrong. Even if they were right, it would be dangerous, but they happen to be completely wrong. It's the absolute most dangerous thing if government can silence dissent and force you to get medical products that actually don't benefit third parties. I think there might be some people out there who think that the vaccine mandate had some good, like there's somebody out there who wouldn't have gotten vaccinated. He got vaccinated and he lowered his risk of severe disease and death. Somebody might think that. I think you have to weigh that against, even if you thought that, which I think is dubious by third and fourth quarter 2021, but even if you thought that, one thing I would say, consider the age of the person you're mandating. The mandates typically punish the youngest people the most because they're still in the labor force, not these 85-year-old people. You're not really forcing the person who probably could have benefited the most. You're forcing somebody who might not benefit at all. 2, there's no carve-out for prior natural immunity, so it's kind of a pretty stupid policy. 3, what about all the harm to the people who quit their job rather than comply? That's a harm. And if they have depressed earnings and wages and depressed health outcomes in the future, you own those bad outcomes because you pushed them out of the labor force. And what about the harm of you've poisoned trust in vaccines and public vaccination campaigns, and now vaccination rates are plummeting? That's harm you own too. So even if you have this deluded belief that we benefit some people, you have to think about all those harms. And any rational calculus would suggest those harms outweigh your benefit tenfold. But I suspect you don't even have the benefits you think you have. It was completely misguided. I wrote many op-eds in 2021 telling them not to do it. They don't listen because they only listen to political lackeys and not people who have a heterodox point of view and call balls and strikes as they see them. And that's their biggest mistake. So the party of science is so scientific that they make scientific error after error, and they don't have the guts to let critics oppose them in public forums. They illegally and unconstitutionally pressure the company to censor speech. The last point I make. It is literally the most anti-American thing to believe that you are so right in your idiotic public health policy that you can remove humor and satire. The stick is so far up your ass, you're removing satirical posts on Facebook. That is the most anti-American thing I could think of. In America, no matter who has ever been in charge, we've always agreed you can make as much fun of their stupidity as you want. That's everyone's God-given right. That's a constitutional right. And this government did not do so. And that to me is the single most anti-American thing you can do. The ability for government to quiet people who disagree with their policies is horrific. In this case, they happened to be repeatedly wrong. I encourage Mark Zuckerberg to come further out and criticize that. I think he's good to do that. Let's applaud him for doing that. And the more he tells us, I think we will find that it's going to be very bad for these people.